A probationer stands before a judge, and her entire story is falling apart. She hasn't paid a single penny towards her $15,000 restitution in over 500 days. She's been arrested for a new assault charge and failed to report it. And her excuse for losing her job? She claims she was fired for reporting her employer for breaking the law, a story the judge finds highly suspicious. Now, the state is moving to revoke her probation. Will she be sent to jail, or can she convince the judge she's even trying? This is the tense moment that will decide her fate.
I got this memorandum in April. 4 months have gone by, and you were arrested in January for assault. What kind of filing has been done in this case? Do you know?
My record review of the records, Your Honor, it looks like she had a court date as of July 31st, but from what I can see from Harris County, it was a bond forfeiture, it was a no-show, so I'm not sure for sure. This is
It's getting deeper. Your probation conditions, among other things, include commit no offense against the laws of the state or any other state. Now, this is an accusation, but it's probable cause that resulted in your arrest, which is a red flag that then gets our attention. And I'd like, we're going to need a motion to revoke probation.
There's one name, sir.
Where is
it? It was back in June of 2018. It was originally filed.
No. I'm talking about the new events.
Oh.
You need to include that.
Yes, sir.
We need there's an amended. We need to amend it. Yeah. Include the arrest and also allegation of committing an offense. Number 9, immediately report to your probation office any change of address, employment, marital status, any arrest. She did not do that.
No, sir.
That'll be another allegation of a violation. There are terms and conditions of probation that are mandatory for all probationers, ma'am. You're not following that. When was the last time she made a payment on restitution?
That was...
Was it in April of last year?
Yes, sir. It was
15 months ago?
Yes, April 21st, 2021.
Really? You couldn't come up with one penny in the last 500 days?
No.
Well, we'll be the judge of that, whether you tried hard enough, but people are trying hard. I know what the status is. We have 5,000 people on probation. I know what the normalcy is, and people can get a job. They also can, in spite of their expenses, pay toward their probation orders. And this is restitution. Restitution means you essentially stole value from another. And that's what was part of this probation to fix this, was fixing it by paying them back the loss. What was the total amount of restitution that was ordered?
The total amount,
Yes,
sir, was $15,000. And she's paid given credit for $6,064, which leaves her a balance of $8,936.
Okay. She's paid how much something?
Altogether, she's paid $6,064.
So that averages about $100 a month.
Yes, sir.
Where are you working somewhere?
Not right now.
When was the last time you had an income?
When I was working at some
When was the last time? Give me a date, approximate, please.
January.
Of this year? What were you doing?
I was a manager at a salon for kids.
A what?
A manager at a salon for kids.
What happened to that job? You're looking around.
I was laid off.
Speak. When people look around, that's an indication they're trying to invent a story. And
I was let go.
Why?
Because there were some TDLR regulations that wasn't being followed. And if they're not followed, then they take my license.
What do you mean? What particularly?
So I voiced the concerns, and I was let go because I had concerns about the regulations not being followed in the salon.
And so, let me get this straight. Your story is you were fired because of your concern that was brought to your employer that they were not following the law.
Mhm.
Well, have you talked to a lawyer about that?
No, but I talked to TDLR about it.
No, did you talk to a lawyer about maybe unfair employment practice?
No, but I filed a TDLR case.
Why don't you just look into that? Maybe you have a cause of action. Maybe. But that's your set of facts. But you don't find it odd that somebody could fire you for your concern that the law was not being followed?
I did. That's why I filed.
No, doesn't that make you feel that something is wrong with them, not you?
Yes.
Well, that's why lawyers are out there to help and assist. You ought to go talk to somebody. Maybe there can be some relief in a lawsuit if your facts are true. But that's one side. The other problem is my deferred order that I ordered that you are not following. That's a problem. And if you don't have the money to pay and you're trying as hard as you can, nobody gets revoked. But you have to convince me you're trying as hard as you can. But on the other side of the coin, you didn't, according to the probation officer, you did not report your arrest, which is a big thing. Also, this offensive assault, have you been arrested on that?
Yes.
What's the status of it?
They are investigating because she's saying one thing
Okay.
and I'm saying
have you had to go to court on this?
yes.
Okay. Who's your lawyer?
It's a court appointed somebody.
The court appointed somebody.
I had a lady named Casey, and then she got promoted to somewhere else, and so they're supposed to appoint me another one, and I haven't met that person yet.
Okay.
The Casey.
All right, I'm going to ask the state to amend on the updated violations so that we can get caught up on this. There'll be another motion to revoke probation filed. And you'll end up being arrested and have to get processed through. But these obligations are important. And number one is don't commit a crime. Now, you're presumed innocent, and that's very important. But a conviction always begins with a charge. How about the community service hours? Is she updated or behind on that?
So the community service he originally assigned 600 and she'd worked 458, which leave a balance of 142.
Okay. I'm not as concerned about that. If work is in her way, if she's not working, then you've got obligations on that to fulfill, or else it's a violation. If you're not working, I expect you to be busy doing community service with us. You understand? All right.